Hello, my name is Elena. In high school, I led a project dedicated to installing solar panels within our school district. For the better part of 2 years, we spent our free time learning about how to make our school more energy efficient. Through this project, I not only gained a passion for solar, but sustainability in general, which led me to find my calling in environmental engineering. Unfortunately, the school board denied our final request just before the pandemic hit. However, I intend to continue that effort through our project, Renew.
According to Pew Research Center, 89% of U.S. adults are in favor of utilizing solar panel farms, and 83% are in favor of wind farms. This same study concluded that 37% of U.S. adults have given serious thought to installing solar panels on their homes, and that 4% of U.S. adults have already done so. Through Elena's high school experience, we had the opportunity to meet with Gavin, who is a homeowner in Michigan that went through the process of installing solar panels on his home. Regarding his experience, he said, "If there was a resource that could have provided all of this information for me, it would have been much easier."
The challenge that we are facing is increasing access to information regarding solar panel installation and educating individuals about energy. Our current community or user is homeowners who already have the ability, finances, and wish to install solar panels on their homes. Their primary challenge is currently a lack of understanding regarding the overall process of implementing solar energy within their homes. This is an important challenge to address because clean energy is necessary to decrease greenhouse gas emissions and reduce the effect we have on the environment.
In order to learn more about Michigan residents and their thoughts on solar, we shared a survey. We had 241 renters and homeowners respond, detailing their thoughts on solar energy. We found that 85% of the renters who responded said they would have solar if it was up to them. When homeowners were asked to rank the reasons they do not have solar, the second most highly ranked reason was the process involved seems too intimidating and or confusing, which is the reason we are attempting to make less of an obstacle through our platform. We also received lots of positive comments on our organization idea.
We represent Renew, a nonprofit student organization at the University of Michigan, focusing on educating the public about the availability of renewable energy, specifically solar, and advocating for greener laws and practices. Our main form of communication to reach out to people is through our interactive website. However, since there is an overlap in the demographics of Instagram users and home buyers, we also have an Instagram page to reach these individuals and to spread awareness regarding clean energy.
Our website will feature 6 main parts: plain language, a section simplifying contracts into layman's terms; solar guide, a resource for the homeowner seeking to install or buy solar panels for their home; energy source information, the energy delivery process, and the difference between source and provider; advocacy, a section devoted to promoting our efforts to be more environmentally conscious; a tips and tricks section presenting general advice for living a more energy efficient lifestyle; and finally, contact information, a section about our team. Although our solar guide is specific to homeowners in a traditional home, the remainder of our website could still benefit individuals who rent or own an apartment.
Theoretically, had Gavin been able to use this platform, he would have followed this process shown in the flowchart. First, Gavin would start off by deciding if he would like freestanding or roof-mounted panels. Then, if his system would be on-grid or off-grid. From there, Gavin will use his energy bills from the past 12 months and decide if he would buy the panels to be installed himself or via a contractor. Depending on which choice Gavin makes will determine what path he takes into a more detailed installation steps. Our flowchart is also interactive, where the individuals can input their information into each decision, and the arrow connecting one decision to the next will be highlighted as a way to demonstrate their decision path.
Furthermore, Gavin can click on each decision to drop down a box with more information regarding that decision, including the pros and cons of each option and other resources that could provide even more information. As you can see, each option includes more information that will truly inform the individuals to allow them to make the most informed decision possible. Providing credible resources to external sites will also ensure that correct, accurate information is being provided.
An important issue for many homeowners is the cost of the solar array. Homeowners need to see if it is even financially feasible for them. This information will be shown as part of the solar guide that compares bids from different solar installers. For example, if I were to input my information into the flowchart and create the spreadsheet, I would find that my estimated savings would be $95 per month, and my return on investment would be approximately 8 years if I work with a certain solar installer. Other information, such as tax credits and rebates, would be available to me as well. This slide shows an example of a spreadsheet that was created by one of our stakeholders who put his own solar panels on his roof. The blank portion on the right represents a part of the spreadsheet that displays the numbers I mentioned earlier. These numbers require specific information about homeowners and will be provided once their energy utility use is added.
Renew is just at the beginning stages of the impact we can have in Michigan. The next step for us will be to partner with Sunrise Ann Arbor, a chapter of the Sunrise Movement here in Ann Arbor, to create credibility to our organization. Students for Clean Energy is also a student organization that we could partner with to generate more support. There is also the potential to become ambassadors with Planet Blue. We also foresee our organization partnering with local energy providers to allow users to have their information synced in one place, which would require our users to have accounts within our website. Lastly, we could work with those who live in apartment complexes or condos to petition for community solar panels. Although our current focus is on educating homeowners on solar energy, the vision for Renew goes far beyond that. As first-year students who share a passion for the environment and renewable energy, we want to develop our organization to be a powerhouse with different subdivisions to make as much impact as possible. Specifically, an education branch devoted to educating a greener generation, a policy branch dedicated to advocating for the green future, and a technical aspect that works to further develop renewable energy technology. United by a common passion for the environment, our organization will be sustainable as more students with diverse backgrounds join.
Our team, our team consists of Elena, Izabella, and myself. We are all within the class of 2024 and within the College of Engineering. We represent Renew, a vision of green, and this is just the beginning.
Amazing. My timer's going to go off and I won't be able to stop it until it does. But congratulations. That was amazing, team. Thank you so much. See, told you. I can imagine both Liz and Suzy have some questions for you. Go ahead.
Suzy, you want to go first, or?
You go ahead. I have a lot of notes. You start, please.
I have a lot of notes and a lot of questions, but also a lot of accolades. I think you guys did a fantastic job on your presentation. I love the idea. I love your passion. I thought you did a very nice job. I'm impressed that you were able to do a survey of residents in such a short amount of time. You know, surveys give you the ability to have that really broad reach. So I'm pleased that you did that. A couple things that I would love a little bit more information about. So one is, I know you haven't built your website, right? You're still like just wireframing it. Is that true? Have you gotten it in front of anybody yet? So the main question I have is on people's willingness to provide their personal information about their utility costs, possibly also their address or where they're living. I'm not sure what other personal information you're going to need, but it seems like, you know, you're going to always be up against this concern about privacy of information. So have you talked to any potential users about that?
I can take this one, you guys. We talked to Consumers Energy for a couple of our interviews to talk with stakeholders, and they also mentioned how that would be something that we might come up against. So that was kind of our idea of maybe partnering a little bit with one or two DTE or consumers, just so we could, since obviously they already have the information, we could see if our users are okay with, since we're already partnering with their utility and they have that information, would it be okay for our website to have that as well?
So for the base of the website, it would actually be free. It would not require you to input your information more from like an educational standpoint. You could still look through the flowchart to see what decision would come next and what information would be necessary from you. So I guess it's twofold. It does that information, but if you decide, hey, this is the route I want to go, you can start inputting your information. As Elena mentioned, one of the future things that we would love to do is actually partner with the local energy companies, so all of the information can be synced, and from there we would have to work with the companies to allow that privacy aspect.
Just to follow up on that, and then I'll turn it over to Suzy. So it seems like there are pros and cons of partnering with the local energy companies. So did you get any sense either from your interviews or just from, thinking through that decision? How do you deal with the credibility issues? So it's almost like, I'm a political scientist. I know Izabella says you're studying poli-sci also, but we have this joke. It's like, we're the government and we're here to help you. And, so it's kind of like, we're the energy companies and we're here to lower your energy bills. How do you get around that perception of, who is really behind this effort? And are there ways to offset that skepticism that your potential users might have if you do partner with the energy companies for good reasons? I think you've raised some positive benefits of that, but you're going to have to deal with that downside also. Have you thought about that?
I'll take this one, guys. Absolutely. So that is something that actually I believe one of our prior practice presentations mentioned it, and it was, this feels like a scam because they've seen scams before. And so it was, the concern was, well, what differentiates you from being a legitimate group as opposed to the scams I get in the mail all the time? And for us, it was really about, can we partner with existing organizations that already have that credibility to create merit to our organization and to show that we are not a scam. Also choosing to be a nonprofit organization as opposed to a business, because that's really what we are. We just want to help people because we do all share this passion of the environment. And so the foundation of our organization, focusing on education and advocating for greener laws and practices, is really, I think, what's going to build our organization up to be able to build that credibility. And then later down the road, once that credibility has already been built and people see us as a trustworthy resource, then we can partner with with the local energy providers. And so the credibility will already be built prior to that.
Good answer.
I have a sort of related question, which first of all, I want to say, I would use this 100%. Like in my community, I live outside of DC. A lot of folks in my neighborhood have solar on their roof. There are constant listserv conversations about like, what is a scam and which one are you using? And like, my neighbors work in Congress. Like these are like smart people who understand policy and cannot figure out what is a legitimate offer or program and what isn't. So, which is sort of leading me to my question. Can you tell me about your plans of how you will assess the existing programs so that you are not in fact scamming people or leading them to a program that may not be actually a good fit, right? Because there are energy companies, there are subsidiaries, there are solar panel companies, there are a lot of for-profit interest embedded in these systems that may or may not be really thinking about the well-being of the consumer.
So one of our big stakeholders, the person that we were first talking to, is my teacher from high school, Mr. Hingst. He's the guy who helped me with the entire solar project, like all the things. He was there for us and he was very present while we were building our website. And he is who we talked to and who we got a lot of our information from. And we knew everything like he was doing was pretty credible because he has his own solar panels and he did so much research just to make sure that he was doing the right thing. And he's also the person at our high school who's getting all the other teachers to do it as well. He's the one everybody's coming to get information from. So that's also who we went to because we knew he has solar panels. He's not going to scam us. And we got a bunch of solar installers. That spreadsheet that was in our presentation was one that he made. So that's kind of where we got, this is where we're going to head with like solar installers. And this is who we think would be good. And then also we can compare other websites and that organizations to the ones that he showed us to see, you know, what are the similarities, what are the differences, are they scamming us? And then also he's always there, so we can always ask him, you know, what do you think about this? So I thought that would be what we would do.
I'm a non-technical person who works in policy space. So I too have like my trusted technical experts. So I love that you have folks who you can count on to help you with that type of analysis. I have one more question. I really love that you are not just thinking about homeowners. I love that you're thinking of this as like a non-governmental organization, right? Like it's a very holistic approach that I think is really smart. And I love that you are thinking about folks who live in apartments and condos and different places that actually are great candidates for rooftop solar, but the folks who live in those buildings don't necessarily have the ability to get the solar there. So can you tell me a little bit more about how you're thinking about that opportunity? Because I think there's a real there.
Absolutely. So community solar panels has actually been something that we talked to, I believe it was Consumers Energy about. They're doing, I think, as community gardens or something along those lines is what they currently call it. So they already have different groups, and I think Elena might know a little bit more about the details associated with that. But they already have people who want to do things similar. And so we can work and kind of emulate that process of getting the apartment, the renters involved in doing that and really working to petition for the solar panels on their homes. And I feel like the current consumer and what they're doing already, we can try to use that a little bit more and kind of do something similar. And also going back to the credibility, once we have that credibility established of our organization, we'll be able to make more of an impact on apartment complexes and condos.
Thank you.